Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Warning. I chain smoke and I say fuck a lot. But I accept myself for the way I am. I accept you too. Viewer discretion advised.
I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Now, boys and girls, let's try it again.
I'm sure by now everyone's already heard about John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy, but it's been a really busy weekend, so I want to thank V, the social injustice warrior, for joining up with me on this video and saving me a lot of time, so appreciate it, man. If you aren't already subscribed, go check him out, Social Injustice Warrior. Take it away, V.
Robin Bird thought her plan was working when the letter from her hero arrived in the mail. It was 1994, and the 13-year-old had sent the creator of Ren and Stimpy a video of herself talking about her drawings and the animation career she envisioned. She could hardly believe he'd responded. "I'd built up these characters and this mythos of Ren and Stimpy in my head," Bird, now 37, told BuzzFeed News. "It was exciting. Soon," she said, she began receiving boxes of toys and art supplies from 39-year-old John Kay. He helped her get her first AOL account, through which he convinced her he could help her become a great artist. Yeah, nowadays we just call that grooming. "I thought I was still his little cute friend," she said. And then when she was still in 11th grade, he flew her to Los Angeles to show her his studio and talk about her future. She said on that same trip, in a room with a sliding glass door that led to his pool, he touched her genitals through her pajamas as she lay frozen on a blanket he'd placed on the floor. She was 16. In the summer of 1997, before her senior year of high school, he flew her to Los Angeles again, where Bird had an internship at Spumco, John Kay's studio, and lived with him as his 16-year-old girlfriend and intern. The tiny dark-haired girl moved in with John Kay prematurely at age 17. She told herself that John was helping to launch her career. In the end, she fled animation to get away from him. Although sexual abuse allegations against John have never been made public before, his relationship with Bird has been an open secret within animation. So open that a girl he had been dating since she was 15 years old was referenced briefly in a book about the history of Ren and Stimpy. Say what? The male artist said stories of how John sexually harassed female artists, including teenage girls, were very known throughout the industry. Moreover, John made his fixation on teenage girls plainly obvious in his art, even as he worked on animation projects for the likes of Cartoon Network, Fox Kids, and Adult Swim. In an interview with Howard Stern in the mid-90s, the radio show host asked him about a character in the comic book anthology the cartoonist was then promoting. Stern called Sody Pop a hot chick with big cans and nice legs. John responded with a smile, "She's underage, too."
I want to congratulate John Kay on his new cartoon. I think that there's some new excitement in the industry.
I guess the industry is moving ahead. Forget the Billy fiasco.
Look for comic book. This is the characters. You can see them here. One of them's a hot chick with big cans and nice legs. Who drew that? You?
She's underage, too.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh,
yeah.
On John Kay's behalf, an attorney responded to a detailed list of allegations in the story with the following statement. The 1990s were a time of mental and emotional fragility for Mr. Kay, especially after losing Ren and Stimpy, his most prized possession. For a brief time, 25 years ago, he had a 16-year-old girlfriend. Over the years, John struggled with what were eventually diagnosed mental illnesses in 2008. To that point, for nearly 3 decades, he had relied primarily on alcohol to self-medicate. Since that time, he's worked feverishly on his mental health issues and has been successful in stabilizing his life over the past decade. This achievement has allowed John the opportunity to grow and mature in ways he never had a chance at before. In 2008, long after she saw John Kay, Bird reconnected with an old internet friend, the artist Katie Rice. John Kay introduced them through AOL in the mid-90s when they were still children, telling them he'd hire both of them at Spumco someday. Although John never had a physical sexual relationship with Rice, he began hitting on her when she was a minor. She said behavior ranged from writing her flirty letters to masturbating while she was on the phone. You know, that was a thing in the late 90s to early 2000s. I'm really glad that as a society, we've gone past phone sex. No one does that anymore. Now we just send unsolicited dick pics.
Whoa, you asked me for those. That wasn't unsolicited.
On October 19th, 2004, when Rice was working at Disney, a 49-year-old John contacted Rice via her work email. He wrote that he'd been resentful as a 41-year-old man of the classmate Rice liked when she was 15. You used to make me very jealous, and you would never admit that you liked me in a romantic way. At the end of the email, he begged her to be in a relationship with him. Rice said the sexual harassment got worse when she worked for John K's home office, particularly when she was working on a music video commissioned by Weird Al Yankovic. Rice told Bird in 2008 that John was doing all sorts of bizarre stuff, waiting naked in his living room for when I let myself into the house to work in the morning, walking around with his wiener hanging out of his pants, telling me, somebody used wiener for penis. I didn't think people actually talked like that. Telling me that his friend's advice to get me was to just rape me one day. Whoa! Through an attorney, John denied exposing himself to Rice and said the rape comment was just a joke. I was only kidding. I was only joking about potentially raping you. Come on. It's a joke.
Most cartoons like to toe the line of censorship, but Ren and Stimpy straight up walks up to it and jizzes on its tits.
I think I'm in love.
In the first episode of the new season of Ren and Stimpy, we learn that the Hoeks are now living inside the nostril of a passed out drunk dude. Ren is complaining that he hasn't had a good night's sleep in a long time. When he tries to go to sleep, a weird, drippy, hanging thing inside the guy's nose starts forcefully tonguing Ren's butthole. Apparently, our little Chihuahua pal isn't too keen on a good old-fashioned salad tossin', and he wakes up Stimpy in a rage. He forces Stimpy to repeat their #1 rule, which is written all over the blackboard in chalk. Listening to your favorite childhood cartoon character screaming, "You're the pitcher, I'm the catcher," over and over again isn't even the most disturbing scene in this episode. At the end of the show, Ren pops out from behind a changing screen dressed like an actual pitcher and proceeds to throw his dick into Stimpy's asshole like a major league player at the World Series. In an act of selfishness, bisexual Ren takes Stimpy on a date to the beach so that he can ogle a bunch of big titty blondes. When one of the girls runs by with her beach ball, Ren jizzes in his pants. Stimpy, of course, gets jealous when he sees his lover checking out the butt cheeks of another, so he runs to a nearby beach stand to buy himself a G-string. But instead of being aroused by his partner's thong, Ren gets angry at Stimpy and flings him right onto the beach ball blonde's boobs. Shortly after, Ren and Stimpy pose as bathroom attendants in the ladies' room, where Ren uses his boner as a towel rack so that the girls will give him a quick, low-key handy. Then, he sneaks into the showers and helps all dem babes lather up. Stimpy attaches a nozzle to his penis and ejaculates shampoo onto one of the girls' heads. Of course, while all this is happening, the girls are talking in bimbo voices and making cool porn noises.
Pointing at his
John.
crotch.
Nice job, John.
Yeah. Give the girls a nice shot of that.
Yeah. All right, well,
One of my hot chick characters, Sody Pop.
oh yeah.
It's something
there
they
you go.
never let me do on TV. They'd never let me animate hot chicks. And I love to draw hot chicks.
Yeah.
Disney used to do cute girls in cartoons. Warner's did it. Everybody loves it. Tex
Hey,
Avery did
Ariel's
it.
like naked. She's only wearing a bra.
Who is?
Ariel from Little Mermaid.
Oh, right, yeah.
Only
yeah.
wearing a bra.
Yeah, a lot of kids got their first boner with that, I think.
Yeah, well, she...
As Bird grew up in the studio, her co-workers, many of whom were not much older than she was, were aware of the teen's romantic relationship with their boss. Moore got an internship at Spumco in '97 around the age of 24. And when he first started seeing Bird around the studio, I was like, "Who's that little girl?" he said. The relationship was odd, but it seemed to be accepted at the studio, where former employees say Crick Falusi fostered a libertine atmosphere in which taking offense was itself offensive. They were making shows with sexual themes. They were raunchy new drawings on display. Morris said John left out a drawing he made of Bird naked with the dog ejaculating on her. Sometime between '98 and 2000, Moore went to a party at John's house that bothered him for years. He remembered Bird, who was no older than 20, was drunk and seemed to be drifting in and out of consciousness. When John called Moore over to him and pulled out these Polaroids of Robin, basically going down on him. He's like, "What do you think of that?" Bird doesn't remember Crick Falusi taking explicit photos of her. She also wasn't aware, she said, that he showed explicit photos of her to other people. But Wyatt recounted an interaction with his then boss that was similar to Maura's. He said that at a party at Kricfalusi's house between 1999 and 2002, Kricfalusi showed him a stack of Polaroids of Kricfalusi and Bird having sex. He never mentioned the photographs to Bird, nor did he confront Kricfalusi about the interaction. During another party at Kricfalusi's house, Swar said the artist pulled out a binder of photos that showed Bird naked in his pool. It was gross, Swar said, affecting a gruff voice when he spoke. As Kricfalusi, Swar recalled, he was like, "Oh, you like that?" I was like, "No." The article also named Rice, who said he never touched her, but hit on her explicitly when she was underage. At one point, she claimed he masturbated on the phone with her way before she was 18. They never had physical sexual contact, but when Rice lived in Nevada, she remembers several late-night phone calls during which Kricfalusi said, "Repeat after me, John's dick slides in my pussy," his pronunciation of the word, while he masturbated on the other end of the line. She refused. Rice, who was naive about sex, said she didn't realize what he was doing at first, until all of a sudden, she did. She left Spunko years later following a pattern of sexual harassment. Additionally, she claimed she discovered child pornography on his computer. She remembered one photo in particular, with a naked girl who appeared to be around 10 years old, lying on her back with her legs spread and an expression on her face that Rice described as fearful. An ex-girlfriend of John's, who asked not to be named in the story, said she, too, saw naked images of prepubescent girls who appeared to be between the ages of 12 and 14 on his personal computer around 2007. Rice went to report the child porn she saw on John's computer. On 2 occasions, she said she panicked while filling out an online form for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Rice successfully reported seeing child porn to the police at the end of 2017. Bird said she spoke to the detective on the case as well. Even though the statute of limitations for her allegations was up, her account might holster an investigation. The LAPD would not comment on the case, but Rice was told they wouldn't be able to get a warrant. It was after receiving that phone call from the police that she decided to go on record.
Hey, this is Katie Rice. She is one of the young artists I was telling you about who sought me out because she grew up watching Ren and Stimpy, right? Mm-hmm. Katie is the princess of sexy girl artists. All through the 80s, when I was working at Hanna-Barbera and Filmation and all these studios, I always wanted to draw sexy girls into the cartoons. But since the networks were all run by dykes...
Oh shit, did he just say that?
They wouldn't let you because they thought it was offensive to women to draw girls cute, like Katie here. Katie showed me one time, she drew, I was at her 15th birthday party. We'll tell you that backstory a little bit later. And she showed me her sketchbook, and one of the drawings in it was a copy of a drawing I did of my character, Sody Pop. You still have that drawing?
Yes, it's not very good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Ren and Stimpy decide to be good Samaritans and help out a super hot lady with big boobs out of the kindness of their hearts. They promise to help her get some money after being evicted from her house, and decide to break into a mansion with a guard duck to get the job done. In order to distract the duck, Stimpy dresses up like a sexy lady duck to seduce him. He puts nipple tassels on his chin to look like a rack, and that's all the motivation the duck needs to strap on a condom and get busy behind the woodshed. Stimpy and the duck start playing around at tonsil hockey and getting they fuck on.
Told you I like this chick.
When the duck sucks on Stimpy's faux nips, he gives birth to horrifying hybrid babies. Ren smacks the duck over the head, knocking him unconscious. Because all good sex should end with a severe concussion, right?
He's at the Silent Theater doing a screening of cartoons that influenced him.
Yeah, what were some cartoons?
You got your Popeye, Betty Boop, Mighty Mouse, Coal Black and the Seven Dwarfs.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's a 40s Warner Brothers cartoon. It's Snow White, but with all black character.
My hair's coal black, but my name's so white. I wash it all day.
And it's full like 40s, big lips, jet black skin. The Prince Charming is a pimp with gold teeth, and his two front teeth are dice.
Thanks, horribly racist animators. Apparently you gave us Ren and Stimpy.
Thank you so much, right?
Thanks.
What a fucking asshole this guy is.
When the hot homeless lady's nipples start popping out of her top, Ren and Stimpy know they need to build her a shelter. Armed with tons of wood and a handsaw, they get straight to work. Ren straps on a saw and Stimpy positions a log of wood right on his butt. And then butt sex. Ren thrusts into Stimpy repeatedly and asks him to beg for it.
It's literally Ren and Stimpy having sex. There's no explanation as to why they are cutting wood that way. That is not how you saw wood. Unless, you know, you're sawing wood. This couldn't have fooled anyone.
When Ren finishes, his saw goes limp, leaving a large pile of wood shavings on Stimpy's tramp stamp. In case you're confused, those wood shavings are supposed to be a big puddle of splooge.
Fucking stoned. I got motherfucking spaceship. Oh, fuck. Cool, I got it.
Disney, Disney, Disney. You are so beloved by the world, and you gave us so many things that we hold dear. Precious memories, cherished moments, wonder, magic, boners. Oh, I think that last one needs a bit of explaining. Hey everybody, Sol is back again. And this time on Channel Frederator, I'm going to be talking about every single last sexual reference that we could find hidden either sneakily or not so sneakily into your beloved animated Disney movies. Now please keep in mind that lewdness will be present at all times, plus many of these sexual instances have been explained away by the Disney employees. But that won't stop us from casting light on Disney's trousers when they're pulled down. 1942's Bambi. Ah, Bambi, a movie known for creating beautiful, serene world with many childlike wonders to explore, but it's really mostly known for mother death. Because of the mental scarring many children receive from having blatant matricide, some of them may have overlooked how the skunk, Flower, when he gets his first kiss, swells with the power of love, then a large amount of blood, and becomes stiff as a board. How charming. 1977's The Rescuers. Probably the most famous of the hidden Disney sexual mishaps, for two glorious frames in the background of The Rescuers, there's a picture of a topless lady. The titillating frames were only discovered after the movie was released on VHS back in 1999, and sparked a massive recall by Disney. It's never been revealed exactly who put the picture into the animation cells, but whoever did must have been really, really bored. 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. With a character as buxom and alluring as Jessica Rabbit, why would anybody feel the need to sneak anything into this movie? Your biggest sexual stimulus is basically plastered on a giant billboard. That being said, it's still all, well, covered up and hidden in innuendos. Except for this. After Jessica gets thrown from the cab at the end of a short chase, her dress flaps up, revealing that she is indeed
not wearing any pants.
This was only discovered after the home Laserdisc release in 1994 and has since been censored. 1989's The Little Mermaid. Ah, movie covers. They can instill us with visions of grandeur and excitement, as well as terror and dread and oh, who the hell am I kidding? There's a jingle bone on the Little Mermaid VHS cover. While Disney insisted that this suggestive structure was only included in the cover due to time constraints on the artist, and was not intended to be an undersea schlong, they still removed the offending edifice from the poster. But how can you blame the artists? It's not like they expected someone to start staring vacantly at their box art until things started looking like dongs. Another little tidbit comes from the actual movie itself, where near the very end, when Prince Eric and Ursula are about to get married, a short clergyman steps up to give his blessing to the new couple and gets a little too excited about it. Disney claims that this is in fact the man's knee, but in a knee-jerk reaction, no pun intended, they edited out the very happy little knee from all future releases. 1992's Aladdin. Most likely one of the most debatable of the hidden references, during the scene where Princess Jasmine finds Aladdin on the balcony, he appears to say something odd. Listen, if you will.
I'm good, can you just take off?
Did you hear it? Sounds kinda weird and hard to hear, but nothing very offensive. But people have insisted that the line is in fact a veiled reference to promiscuity, as it apparently sounds like Aladdin is saying, "Good teenagers, take off your clothes."
Good, can you just take off?
This movie's production staff denies this line, saying that, while it was ad-libbed during recording, the real line was supposed to be, "Good tiger, take off and go." But now that you've heard the other, more interesting version, it's impossible not to hear.
I'm good, can you just take off?
1994's The Lion King. Definitely the most famous reference next to The Rescuers, when Simba flumps down in depression on a grassy cliffside, he makes some of the greenery rise up into the air, bringing with it some sex. You see it? Right there, it says sex. Well, not according to Disney, who claims that the reference actually says SFX, a signature of their special effects department. But who are you going to believe? Even if you trust in Disney's words, you'll never not be able to see anything but sex in that dusty cloud. It's also worth mentioning that some have argued that the 2002 re-release poster of The Lion King has a scantily clad woman hidden in the artwork. Don't see it? Here it is with the outline. Yeah, good luck on seeing that. 1996, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. While some people may disparage The Hunchback of Notre Dame as being a watered-down, Disney-fied version of the original Victor Hugo story, most people won't tell you that the song Hellfire isn't anything but impressive and grand, while also being a little disturbing and perverted. But they just weren't looking close enough. It appears that Esmeralda's dancing form in the fireplace becomes unclothed in the last few frames before it disappears. It's hard to see, and somewhat up for debate, but only one thing can be said about this. Those are some fine bazongas. 1996's Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Disney's straight-to-DVD lineup isn't considered stellar, but that doesn't mean they can't slip in some innuendos every now and then. Case in point, during a wedding scene, the earth starts shaking from a stampede, and that rascal genie says, quote, "I thought the earth wasn't supposed to move until the honeymoon." Nice little joke for the exactly 0 adults watching this movie. 1997's Hercules. There's no real beating around the bush here with this one, people. After Hercules punches the River Guardian in this Greek epic, a horseshoe falls on the Guardian's head, and a huge Long John Silver grows out of his forehead. This isn't even hidden or anything, it's very clearly a set of family jewels. The one thing I wonder about this is why this didn't ruffle anyone's feathers. It is very clearly a knobgoblin. Sorry, getting one carried away here. 1999's The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. This may not be a movie as fondly remembered as the other entries on this list, but there's no denying this scene's intent. Rather than explain it to you and ruin it, I'd rather just show you the scene, and you can judge whether or not it's filthy.
My memory banks are being stroked, and by an expert, and I can't keep it to myself any longer!
Oh yeah, they went there. 2006's Cars. Most people who talk about Pixar don't regard Cars as one of their strongest films, and for a good reason. It doesn't do anything particularly mind-blowing, however, there are flashing cars in it. And by flashing cars, I mean cars that flash the headlights. Let's just say that if this movie starred humans instead of anthropomorphic vehicles, the rating would change from this to this in a heartbeat. 2010's Tangled. Tangled is a nice movie. It looks nice, sounds nice, and everyone just seems to have this niceness to them. But this reference doesn't come from the movie itself, no, but from one of its promotional posters. This one may be hard to see, so I'll help you see it. Now, let me highlight it for you. Look, Disney, it says sex! You can't SFX your way out of this one! 2011's Cars 2. This one is probably one of the most debatable ones, since it honestly could have just been from a lack of knowledge on the subject of 6 sexual internet videos, but in Cars 2, the villains of the movies are lemons, a slang term for old and beat-up cars. And here they are seen having a party. A lemon party, as it were. If you don't know what lemon party is, consider yourself lucky. And no, sorry, but we won't be showing you any clips here. But be advised that this reference is, well, horrific if true. 2012's Wreck-It Ralph. What an awesome movie Wreck-It Ralph is, wouldn't you say? It's so much fun to see all those video game references blast onto the big screen in a gigantic mess of nostalgia. But there's one reference that may have a double meaning, where Ralph calls Pac-Man a cherry-chasing dot muncher. This is another one that may be up for debate, since the term cherry can refer to someone's virginity, but it most likely is just referring to the in-game cherries from Pac-Man's home game. I just hope Miss Pac-Man doesn't know. 2013's Frozen. During a scene where Anna and Kristoff ride together, Kristoff berates Anna's knowledge of her fiancé, Prince Hans, asking him what his foot size is, to which Anna replies, "Foot size doesn't matter." And you know what they say about foot size in men? Before I leave you, I'll just give you a couple bonus pictures here. They supposedly had suggestive content in them, but you be the judge of that.
Thank you for watching, everyone, and a very special thank you to Eye of Soul who put this together for us. It's a fantastic video, and I know this was a long time coming. You should totally check out her channel over here. And if you're looking for more videos from Channel Frederator, check out 107 Facts about BoJack Horseman and 107 Facts about Frozen. They're both also worth a watch. And remember, Frederator loves you.
$10.
$5.
$8 and I'll do it.
Fine.
Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement. Help me!
Hey everyone, it's the Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of Illuminati Media Expose. In today's video, I wanted to expose the recent Family Guy Simpsons crossover episode because it is absolutely being used by the Illuminati to brainwash the masses in preparation for the plans and the agenda of this satanic cabal. So I knew this was going to happen since these two shows are often used by the satanic secret cabal of the Illuminati to brainwash the masses. And since they brought them together, I knew absolutely this one would be chock full of Illuminati messages and symbols, and it is. So in today's video, I'm going to expose that all to you. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is the episode starts with the Griffins coming to Springfield. Welcome to Springfield, and they're welcomed by the Eye in the Pyramid, which is obviously a Illuminati symbol. For those of you who don't know, it's on the back of the dollar bill. It has nothing to do with America. This is Egyptian occult satanic Luciferian symbology that is on the back of the dollar bill, which is a symbol of the Illuminati, this satanic's cult desire for a new world order. Annuit Conceptus Novus Ordo Seclorum, which basically means a new world order. So no surprise do we see that, because in previous episodes we were shown the truth hidden in plain sight that Matt Groening is an Illuminist. He's part of the secret society. He got famous through joining himself to the secret brotherhood that runs the entertainment industry. He hides it in plain sight for people to see in an episode of The Simpsons where Homer joins a secret society. You even see him taking an oath. There's the eye in the square, or the eye in the pyramid in the background, and the compass and square, which is a Freemasonic symbol in Masonry, and you just see them, here they are, just celebrating their inner Illuminati secret society, the Brotherhood of the Ancient Mysteries. And you obviously see the Illuminati symbolism, as I just referred to the eye in the pyramid. You can see that they've used this in previous shows as well, the eye in the pyramid, to symbolize Homer's allegiance to a secret society known as the Stonecutters, aka an Illuminati secret brotherhood. So we've seen the Simpsons show us hidden in plain sight before that they are Illuminati. And again, welcome to Springfield. The Illuminati is here. So this is a symbol at the very start as they are entering in Springfield to identify that Springfield, that the cartoon The Simpsons, is in fact created by Matt Groening, an Illuminist who joined himself to a secret society, took an oath in order to create cartoons for the cabal to brainwash the masses in preparation for the Antichrist kingdom. This is the eye of Lucifer, the eye of spiritual enlightenment to the Luciferians, and their symbology is right in front of your eyes, hidden in popular cartoons as a way to subconsciously brainwash you. Now, the one thing I want to point out in the episode that struck me is they have a scene here where you actually see Homer and Peter dressed up as women and they are washing cars. Now, this is very important, and I just covered this in another video I did, why the Illuminati male stars dress up as women exposed. If you remember, there was Dave Chappelle who was offered $50 million to do a third season of The Chappelle Show. He was also asked to get an address. He refused. He went to Africa and he just shut down the Illuminati deal. There was no way he was getting dressed up as a woman, and there was no way he was selling his soul. So Dave Chappelle didn't do it. Check out my video on Dave Chappelle, all on that on my channel. But what I want to point out here is, like Dave Chappelle said, there's this weird thing in the entertainment industry where the popular males need to dress up as women oftentimes. This is to degrade them because they are puppets. They have signed a deal to do absolutely anything for fame and fortune, and one of the ways that their masters degrade them is by having them dress up as women. Now, this is seen in the scene here in the crossover episode, and do notice right here that we see the satanic hand sign done by Peter. This is not coincidence, this is symbolism. What we're actually seeing here is subliminal imagery of homosexual sex between Peter and Homer. This is exactly what's going on. As you can see the position here, I do apologize for having to show you this disgusting imagery, but this is obviously to symbolize satanic homosexual sex between two Illuminati puppets, Matt Groening and the creator of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, symbolized here with their two main characters doing this. Now, the Bible very clearly says that it is not right for a woman to be dressed in a man's clothing or for a man to put on a woman's robe. Whoever does such thing is disgusting to the Lord your God. This is a satanic abomination before God, and it is no surprise that the Illuminati puppet creators of these cartoon shows to brainwash the masses are hiding that symbolism right in front of your face. Here they have one abomination, which is to have men dress up as women, and the second abomination is to symbolize the gay sex. If you don't believe me that they're trying to symbolize gay sex between Homer and Peter, you really need to pay attention. They show us this in another scene as well in the episode. So here they're drinking gas, but then they look over at a car that's inserting the gas, and they recognize that they're doing it incorrectly. The next scene that showed is gasen sexen, which is gay sex. Do you see that? Gas sex, gay sex between Homer and Peter Griffin. So the Illuminati wanted the Simpsons and Family Guy to get together to symbolize their two main stars having gay sex and dressing up as women, which is an abomination and absolutely disgusting to God. So no surprise here that these Illuminati puppets are doing that. The Bible tells us very clearly, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. So this is more Illuminati, satanic, God-hating blasphemy that is being pushed out to the public through the media. Gay sex between Homer and Peter Griffin. Moving on, so now the main symbolism that's found in the crossover episode. I'm just going to have to set a base before we go into it, because the Illuminati will constantly hide their plans hidden in plain sight. They did it in the movie The Simpsons. So I'm just going to briefly show you how it was done in the movie to show you how it was also done in the crossover episode. Now, the Illuminati have an agenda to move us into a new world order, to basically change the entire world structure. To do so, they have to depopulate a large percentage of the world. They can't control the amount of people that are on the face of the earth. They recognize that the power is in the people. Part of their agenda is to depopulate us. They want to exterminate us. They showed us this, in fact, in the Simpsons movie. The Simpsons movie is basically like a female representative who comes and, takes Springfield captive and isolates them completely from the world to depopulate them, to kill them. They even show you this FEMA director goes to the president. At the time that the movie was created, I'm pretty sure Bush was in office. So this is a mocking at Bush, showing that he's just a puppet. Here you have the Arnold Schwarzenegger type of Simpson character, and he's obviously not intelligent, but he's the president of the United States, so they're showing you that they put unintelligent puppets, and he chose between 4 options that were laid out by this FEMA type of illuminist, and he just blindly picks option 4, and option 4 happens to be extermination. Now, another thing that's shown in the Simpsons movie, Truth Hidden in Plain Sight, is how the NSA is listening and monitoring to us. They show you how, before they go into here, they show you it's the NSA, then they go in here and you have all these people that are paid government agents that are listening to our phone call. I'm calling about your meat lover's pizza. I like meat, but I don't like it when I'm ready to love again, da-da-da-da. So just mindless conversations are being listened to, and then all of a sudden, the government actually found someone we're looking for, yeah, because he heard the Simpsons, because they're actually trying to find the Simpsons that are trying to escape the government's extermination of Springfield. Do you see this? This is the things that the Illuminati have planned. They have an extermination of us. They are listening to us. So here we have the Simpsons being used by the secret cabal to hide the truth in plain sight about the events that are coming our way. The plans that the Illuminati have, their agenda for the New World Order, is symbolized in these popular cartoons, brainwashing the masses, the unsuspecting masses. In this crossover episode, the main symbolism is about a nuclear explosion. So I'm just going to show this to you from pictures. You have them coming up to the Springfield nuclear power plant. So Peter and Homer are having a fight here, and they're on a bus, and this bus is out of control going into the nuclear plant. So this is symbolism, kind of like the planes flying into the tower. So here we have an object being thrown into a nuclear plant. And their fight continues, and then there's a meltdown. So here we have the symbolism of the Illuminati, which will be planning nuclear false flag attacks. This is in the agenda in order to bring in the Antichrist kingdom. So they have this displayed here. You see meltdown and the red lights flashing. It's a nuclear explosion. The truth is hidden right in front of our eyes here. So you see an explosion goes off. The people of Springfield are overtaken by the nuclear blast. Boom. Death and destruction symbolized in the Simpsons crossover episode. And then, ironically enough, Homer and Peter here, they end their fight at the end of the episode, and the sun is rising after the nuclear explosion has destroyed everything. So the rising of the new age, the new world order, after the nuclear holocaust that is necessary to depopulate the masses, to get us down to a controllable population for this satanic cabal elite secret society, all hidden in plain sight in your face. So just to recap, the Simpsons have been used by the Illuminati to program and brainwash the masses at a subconscious level to be prepared for the NSA to listen to us for nuclear explosions and exterminations. Brothers and sisters in Christ, these are the times that Jesus warned us about. All that we're seeing manifesting in the world today is exactly what the Bible prophesied would occur when we are approaching the second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. There will be absolute horror on this earth. Jesus told us about this. Read Matthew 24 when the disciples asked him about the signs of the times and his second coming, what he said. We are seeing those signs in front of our eyes. And there is a satanic Illuminati cabal, a evil cult that is trying to establish a system, a world order to raise up the Antichrist to be worshipped by the world. Another Illuminati symbolism to point out in closing here is before they walk out to see the sunrise in the new world order, the new age, a alien ship falls down. Now, for those of you who understand Genesis 6 and the Nephilim, you're going to recognize that that is also important symbolism in this showing of the establishment of the New World Order, because the Nephilim, the blue beam alien agenda, definitely fits in. So it's ironic that it's shown right there. So what I'd like to do now is just play a video for everyone here on The Simpsons, more Illuminati symbolism. That's basically it for the episode itself. I knew they were going to use this as a platform to brainwash the masses for more Illuminati propaganda, and they did. So go ahead and share this video, get it out to as many people. Just in closing here, we're going to just play this expose on The Simpsons being Illuminati. And I hope it's a blessing. God bless you all. Turn to Jesus Christ. The time is near. As you can see, the world is being brainwashed subconsciously without even a clue that it's happening for a nuclear holocaust in the wake of the Antichrist in the New World Order prophesied in the Bible. This is the Vigilant Christian saying God bless each and every one of you. And as always, stay vigilant.
Watch this from South Fork.
May I help you?
Hi. Can we speak to the head guy or something?
Right this way. Excuse me, sir. These boys wanted to speak with you.
Ah, yes, splendid. Good afternoon, lads. Welcome to the Super Adventure Club.
Jolly
Cheerio.
Indeed.
Hi. Our friend joined your club a while back, and now he wants to molest kids.
What? Well, yes, of course. That's what the Super Adventure Club does.
Huh?
We travel the world and have sex with children.
Yes, what else would we do?
Well, we thought you went exploring and, like, hunting and stuff.
No, that's the Adventure Club. We're the Super Adventure Club. Next week, we will be heading to the outer banks of the Amazon, where we will make camp and have sex with children of the Ugani tribe. Then it's off to the mighty Himalayas, where we will climb K2 and molest several Tibetan children on the east summit. So how would you all like to join the Super Adventure Club?
No!
No? Oh, really? Perhaps I should ask you again. How would you like to join the Super Adventure Club?
Just what the hell is that thing?
What? What thing? I don't see anything.
Ha! I knew it! Knew what? The reason Chef has been saying those terrible things about us is because he's been brainwashed.